Roll in.
So just roll the fuck in. I should swear so much. Don't matter. Don't matter if I do. Is it? You fucking swear so much. Action!
Rolling.
And action, CJ.
We're good? We're good. Hey everyone, we're back with another episode. You're listening to your girls, CJ and Sasha from InSense. We told you, we're still getting it. We're still getting it, but we're here for you. Today I feel like we've gone for like the Zen vibe.
Right.
We're just gonna keep it real with you guys. I feel like each week we're just getting there, we're just dropping some nice gems, bit of knowledge, bit of laughs. But today, we can literally just tell it how it is. I know one thing we said when we was creating InSense was about creating a platform that was about education and entertainment, but also just keeping it real. Like, we found that sometimes when we was watching things, it just felt a little bit, I don't know, what's the word, like automated or just...
Yeah, we don't want to make it, definitely don't want to make it scripted.
Scripted.
Yeah, scripted.
Yeah, and I think the best thing about me and you is just like, I don't feel like there's a part of us that's like, oh my god, we can't say that. So
oh my god, definitely not. No.
There's a bit of grip behind it.
I mean, naturally, we're quite outspoken women anyway. But also, I think I personally am like that, and I know you are as well. That I don't feel like there's any limits on what we can speak about and how open we can be. Because I think the more open you are, the more you can express yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like this topic, and we're going to speak about mental health today. I feel like there's so many factors to it. So look, me and Sasha are not saying that in one half an hour episode we're going to cover everything mental health, because of course that's not the case. And of course this is just our perspective as well. So please don't sit there and like take notes as if we're mental health experts or doctors. We also just speak from our own experiences. And I think one thing that we've just found is that it's just sharing a bit of normality or things that your everyday people go through that you might be able to relate to at home. And as we say, we might not necessarily have all the answers all the time, but it's about being vocal and about being honest so that we can get to the point where it is just normal. It's not this like, oh my god, we're speaking about mental health.
I think actually today, at this day and age versus what even 10, 20 years ago, mental health it sometimes can be also be used very loosely.
Oh my god!
I think it's obviously it's not like oh my god subject. It is an oh my god subject.
No, but it used. I'm happy that social media. I mean, it plays two roles, right? It's awareness, and so of course we have so much more knowledge than we ever would have done before, because maybe as kids or growing up or different eras that you were brought up in, I know that my family, for instance, and their family never spoke about mental health.
No.
We've got people, I'm sure the same for you, people in your family that suffer from mental health, but you never said or spoke about it. If someone acted up at a dinner or within your family, you just was like, oh, that's that person, or that's that aunt or uncle. You never ever spoke about what that person might be going through, and it was never normal to sit around a dinner table and just speak about those kind of things.
100%. It's something that was definitely, and I think even till this day, in some generations, it's still something that's brushed under the table. Yeah. And you kind of like want to forget about it. You want to pretend that, especially if it is a family member or a loved one, and they suffer from mental health issues. I know from my generation and my family's generation, it's something that, yes, for sure, it's within my family, but it's kind of like.
Yeah, and I think that there's again a half and half to it, because I think if you came from that generation where it was brushed under the table, there's a kind of mental resilience behind it. Like, we know, like I know we've spoken about, like I see my mum, my dad, like a load of family members, they don't talk about it, but they're so resilient because they've never known any different. It's just get on with it. Why are we talking about that shit? Just come on, crack on. Just it gets like brushed over, whereas now, to a point when my dad says sometimes you're too sensitive because you're so open to mental health, and everyone, it's so much more accessible, or the conversation at least is that it's like everyone's suffering, and it's just this fine line between like not using things as an excuse, or at least a barrier to hide what's really going on, and just kind of also allowing whatever is there to just be talked about and then understood so we can move past it, rather than every single time creating a barrier between a mental space and where I need to be. I guess it's like, oh no, I've got anxiety, I can't do that. Well, hold on, let's talk about the anxiety. Let's talk about what is it that triggers that, where did it come from, all those kind of things. Like,
I definitely think it's fantastic that it is so open, but me being Iranian, coming from a Middle Eastern and Persian background, within that culture is definitely a subject, even till this day, even though it's more open. If you go back home to Iran, people don't talk about mental health.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as mental health. There's to some people are, but most people do not talk about mental health. And I know in a lot of cultures that's the same thing.
And traditional families, I just think, and you kind of get laughed at. I'm at, that cousin or granddaughter, she's always on that Instagram talking to herself. Like, it's so and I find it so normal to open up with you guys or talk and do all of that thing, and we're quite like that. And we probably get looked at like the black sheep of the family, because people are probably like, why is she talking so much? Like, my dad used to say, I think it's dangerous that you share so much, and again, it's that fine line of going, you might help someone, so you never want to hold back from doing that, or people that are watching that might not have that outlet or might not have that family member that would speak to them. So you see people like me and Sasha on the ground that help with little things or just speaking about what we're going through. But then I also know that it's our own sanity at times as well.
I think that there has to definitely be a balance. Like, my mum's the same. She always used to say to me, like, don't, when you're on Instagram, be wary of what you say and how much you share, because, again, cultural thing as well. She's like, people evil eye you.
Yeah. Please explain, like, evil eye, because Sash will tell me things, and, like, I know it's a funny, like, oh my god, it's suspicious or whatever, but, superstitious, sorry. But I understand that it's something that I am understanding more, and I just wanted Sasha, because I know it's a cultural thing.
Again, it's another cultural thing. Evil eye is something we do in the Middle East. It's very, very popular in Iran. If you're Turkish, if you come from an Arabic background, Middle Eastern background, it's basically when if I say to you, for example, it's so hard to explain in English sometimes.
No.
But I wish I could say it in Farsi. But let's say if I say to you like, oh CJ, I love that new handbag of yours, but really I'm kind of secretly hating on it.
Right.
So I'm evil eyeing your handbag, I'm evil eyeing, or I go, oh, you look really pretty today, but I'm jealous inside.
Yeah.
It's an evil eye thing. So we wear, actually, today's the first time I haven't got it on. I never take it off. I take it off because my hair got stuck in it. So we wear, like, you've noticed, like, we've got a lot of protection, so we wear an evil eye, so then if anyone does evil eye you, then it protects you from anyone evil eyeing you. So that's why my mum, for example, says, when you're on Instagram and you're showing X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 unintentionally, which is so true, a lot of people, she goes, even your family members, your friends, without intention, will look at you and will look at what you're doing, the things that you have, and they will evil eye you.
Yeah, and it's not malicious, and I think this is the big thing, but I remember, and this is maybe going to bridge me into maybe my start or journey with mental health, but, like, I certainly wasn't what I was now, and I used to be that person. I was a bit jealous of people, I was a bit, like, cold-hearted and not bothered and, like, nonchalant about things, and, like, for me, the biggest thing was the jealousy. It was like, oh, why does that person have this? Why? Because I one, wasn't secure in myself. Two, didn't have the confidence in myself. Three, I mean, the list could go on. I just wasn't happy in myself. So the easiest thing to do when you're not happy, what? Blame others, judge others, be mad, be pissed. That person's got this. I used to be so bothered in my industry, and again, I don't know, like, so much your journey in the career stuff with you, but for me, it was like, why has that person got this? Why has this person got that? Because shit just wasn't going down for me, and it's, like you say, it's not intentional, because I would have, of course, want my friends to succeed or do well, but it's just like,
I think that was probably an insecurity that you had that you wasn't, like you said, you wasn't aware of at the time. When you're not aware of your insecurities, you let that come, unintentionally. We've all done it, like you said, we've all been there. We've all been insecure. If anyone sits here and says you haven't been in a mental state of that really low, that borderline, I know I've been there.
Yeah.
Borderline going into kind of like, oh, am I creeping into depression a little bit? And you don't want to kind of creep into that dark side, and those insecurities
they can eat you alive.
And I think that's what triggers mental health, I personally think social media is a massive, it's an amazing marketing tool. It's an amazing thing to have for that. But as we both know, because we're on social a lot.
Well, look at it this way. I know it sounds silly, but I don't know if you've ever clocked this. But when you're having a good day, or you might be on Instagram and you say some good things that happen you actually get people unfollow you. And it's like, was you really that bothered about me succeeding in something? Was you really hurt that, like, I'd done a good job? Like, but that's what people are like. If you are touching that screen with an insecurity, why are you going to want to follow someone that's doing good? Why are you going to want to follow someone that's, in your eyes, gloating? It's not about that. It is a place, of course, where people have their highlight reels, where they show their best selves. But actually, you might get someone that you come across, like myself and Sasha, that is so happy to say, I'm having a shit day, guys. Fuck it now. Like, it's today I'm saying, I'm on my period. I feel like shit. I don't, and I feel no way to say it as well. I had a circle time at work, so we start our sessions at work, which I am such an advocate for because I think it's so important, and I love the company that I'm with, Six, for doing it. But we start every day with a circle, and we go around the room. We either say something that we're grateful for, or we just call it an open space. So you can say something that's happened on your way to work, something that you're irritated by. Everyone went round, whatever, I'm a bit achy today, a bit tired, whatever. And I went, I'm hormonal, gang. And everyone just started pissing themselves, and I was like,
yeah,
cool, let's have a good day. Like, and it's just, and do you know what? The rest of the day I was kind of in my feels a little bit to myself. But what helped was that people were aware that, CJ's a bit quiet today. She said straight in the beginning, she's hormonal. It's so good to be all it took was one sentence for me in that morning for people to understand the rest of my day and to understand my sensitivity. Because if you hadn't have heard that, it's like, why are you so pissed for? What? Smile. Oh God, that's the world's worst thing when you're having a bad day and someone's like, oh, smile, babe.
No, I know. Do you know what? I know that feeling so well because I think for me personally, because I come across such a happy, positive. I'm putting positive in brackets because I think positive people think you should be smiling all the time, and Zen person. That I'm like, I don't ever have bad days, but there are days I want to be like, fuck off. I don't want to talk to no one. Like, I literally, that's my mental space. That's my I was back in the days, I was the yes girl. Yeah, and I still am to a certain degree. I was the yes, I want to help the whole world, I want to heal the whole world, I want to, yes, I am.
I was going to say, it's so hard to switch that off, especially when me and you pride ourselves on people that want to help. But you have to. You can't give from a place of emptiness.
No. That's the thing. I've come to a place where I now understand boundaries.
Yeah.
I have to set myself. You have to set yourself boundaries for your own mental. For your mental clarity, for you to kind of unplug to replug again. That really helps with my mental health because I know, like, when I don't set myself...
And with social media, it's that time or space away from helping people, looking at what people are doing, being bothered by what people are doing. It's just like...
You naturally get bothered. I'm not a bothered person. I'm literally not... If you know me, you know I'm literally not bothered about a lot of things, but... Well, I am, but as in, like, I don't get bothered in the sense of, like, if I see something... But with social, it's like I feel like it's an instant, like, drug and addiction. Like, it is called Instagram. It's an instant gram of
gratification. Instant gratification.
Right.
But
it's like you have to, like,
like, it releases a level of dopamine every time you get, like, likes or shares or comments or messages. Like, it's like a ding ding. It's like, in a game and it's like ding ding, and you get the stars collected. It's like every time you open your phone, you're like taking a hit, and how much do you rely on that hit every day? And that's why it's so important, it's like mornings, nights, to just have that time away from you, from.
I've actually because I started noticing myself becoming a mass, becoming really, like, reliant of looking at my phone, checking my emails, checking my just checking shit for the sake of it sometimes, right?
Yeah, and I was worrying out of my sleep. Oh, what if someone's emailed me? I don't care. It's 5 a.m. Like, you can't respond now anyway, so just fucking go back to sleep.
I've actually put my phone. I've put it outside my room, so it's not in my room anymore. So when I wake up, I go straight into the other room and I do my morning routine because it was mentally like, it's mentally, and I realised that's why I was becoming unmotivated.
Yeah, and irritated.
And I was just like bothered about stupid things. And we have, as humans in this generation with social media and so much technology, we have become cyber zombies. We're all, if you go into the tube, you go on roads, everyone's like this, including myself to a certain degrees, and I have to catch myself.
Yeah, and I don't think it's helped. I mean, I totally understand, but this year, everyone kind of feeling like frantic and lost and a little bit, not knowing what to do with themselves, one, because of COVID, two, because of having so much time on your hands.
Right.
I understand, but Jesus Christ, I've never understood this amount of pressure, of anxiety when it comes to like what's going on in the world. And like, I don't want this conversation to go into like COVID heavy, but like fear. Like sometimes you go onto Instagram and within 5 minutes there's so much like news or things to be, and like you can't keep up with everything unless you are a journalist or unless that is your day-to-day job. Don't feel pressured. It is not your sole responsibility to have to be on your Instagram, keep in check of every single thing. And something I spoke to my life coach about was, what do you stand by? And are you standing by it if you're reposting just to kind of make sure that your Instagram is safe, or make sure that your Instagram keeps up with what everyone's like? Is it what you stand by? Because if you don't stand by hate and crime, why do you keep reposting the hate and crime that's going on in the world?
That's one thing that you know me. I really get wound up when people do that. When you watch the news, you see what's going on in the hype, and you just want to follow the hype. Like,
and it's just because we care. As humans, we want to spread awareness.
Of course, naturally you do, but understand the fucking awareness. Excuse my language, but understand the awareness that you're spreading. Understand the subject. Research the subject. Research yourself first. Like, these are the things that we mentally, again, it can affect you, because then you post, you end up reposting, as you say, you repost, and it's something that you genuinely and truly, one, don't stand by, two, don't understand.
Yeah.
And when you do it, and then someone might backlash you and say, why did you do that? And then you get in your head, and that's where, again...
I mean... I had something the other day, and I'm not going to bring up too much about Instagram because... There are some devils on the net.
There are definitely.
And we're not going to do that. I've said I vow to not make this space a negative place. So this is not a space to go in that route. But I basically had something the other day where I'm not going to go into it, but I had put up a status for a picture. I was in a country and I just put up something super, super, super lighthearted. No intention behind it, just literally whatever. And someone had written to me on the comment section, but it looked like a paragraph like from Google, or it wasn't personal, it was just like, this is what this country experiences, blah, 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 ignorant, blah, blah, blah. And I deleted it because my theory was, it's not personal. You're not actually saying, hi CJ, I'm not too sure why your status is blah, blah, but actually this is what I know about this country. If you could blah, blah. It was just blah, shouting at me. And as I say, my Instagram is my space. If you don't like it, you don't have to be on it. It doesn't mean to say that I don't acknowledge when I'm wrong, but there's a difference between messaging someone and saying, hey, I don't really know if you're aware, but this is what's happening in this situation, and to just enlighten you, this is what's going on, and it might make you feel differently about the way you posted. But the person come at me and said, hi CJ, I used to like your classes, but I don't like you anymore because of what you said. And I said, whoa. I literally voice noted back and I said, can we just stop for a second? I'm a human and my Instagram is my platform, and I totally respect everyone's space and opinion, but I have a space and opinion too. 100%. So can you acknowledge me? Can we speak from human to human before you want to talk to me? And straight away that person said, I'm so sorry, next time I'll approach it with love. And that's all it needs. We're humans. Even if you have 10 million followers, stop treating that person like they're soulless, like they don't have feelings, because this internet life is like people just backlashing and cancel culture and like people die of this shit.
Do you know what do you know what it's become? Do you remember when the whole Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
You know, the when it was at the height of it and the peak and the thing. I felt like instead of there was a lot, of course, it was beautiful to see so many different cultures, backgrounds come in unities to stand for one thing, but it also, there was a lot of, it became there was an internet war. I felt like people were warring each other and saying, why are you putting that? Why aren't you speaking up? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And there was a lot of blame. There's a lot of blame when it comes to social media, when there's a big hype, when there's a big media movement, when there's something. And I think with that situation, you handled it fantastically because you actually stopped and instead of like attacking the person back and going actually or deleting them or blocking them, you questioned them. And I had this conversation with a very, very dear friend of mine, Adrian. And he, we were talking about this whole, and he had a situation, where someone that he followed had posted something that he didn't like and he was about to delete it. And I actually said to him, like, babe, before you delete it, ask that person, like, why they posted X, Y, and Z, or why they didn't. And then he was like, okay, so he had that conversation with them. And again, it just, when you have that open conversation, sometimes you're going to not agree. Sometimes you'll end up like, do you know what, I need to delete that person, that is, it's no good. But it's very important to have that.
Well, I listened to this interview the other day, and I also had a course on non-biasness. I'm sure there's a better title to that. And it was like a 5-hour course the other day, and it was about learning how to be like basically not biased towards culture, religion, colour, what's it called? Like titles, status, and stuff like that. And it was so crazy the things we think and feel before we even know that we're thinking and feeling them because of prejudices and things happening in our lives that have happened at certain points in our lives that we subconsciously haven't even taken on, but it makes us feel a type of way towards different things. And again, we just need to kind of unlearn that, unlearn what's been kind of imprinted on us so that we can actually have conversations around it and be like, oh, why do I think that? And why does that? And why can't we just have a conversation about it? But I think, what was the thing that I was kind of going to point out there? What was you saying just before?
So when you react to someone?
Don't know. But literally, I just think, that's it. How beautiful a world would be if I could have an opinion, you could have an opinion. We don't necessarily agree, but our opinions are understood.
Right.
And instead of expecting you to have my opinion because we're friends, or expecting it because we're from the same background, or expecting it because we go to the same school, or whatever thing it is, it's like, whoa, okay, I didn't realise that's what you thought or that's what you believed in. I don't necessarily agree with that, but actually now that I've heard your opinion, I kind of understand why you thought this. It doesn't mean to say we have to agree, but how much more complex and more unique would our world be if everyone felt like they could have an opinion and own it, rather than feel like I can't say this and I can't say that. I mean, it's a fucked up world. It is. So there are some opinions that I just think, okay, I wish that wasn't a thing. But we have to understand everyone is complex and unique in their own way.
110%. And this is something, I think that's a really amazing point that you brought up, because I feel like it is something that as human beings, as society has conditioned us from the minute you're born. You're conditioned to think and see certain things, and yes, 100% you have to unlearn all of those things. So but it's just, I feel like with media, with mainstream media, I'm not I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it because I feel like it's a brainwash to make you think like it's like, okay, cool, how are we gonna control a mass? Okay, how are we gonna control people's minds, a mass? Oh, let's put a virus out there. This is the virus I'm talking about, is fear, right? Fear is the biggest virus. It's the biggest head fuck that it
could be put out in so many different forms. And I think, again, as a mass, how we deal with it is how we're going to move forward. If we all start frantically being, then all of a sudden we're not thinking with clarity. We're thinking irrationally. We're being impulsive. We're backlashing. I mean, I've never seen so much shit on Instagram to the point where like I genuinely was like, I don't want to be on it. It was really fucking with my mental health. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had some shit over COVID and sorry, not over COVID, just during this time, and I was close to just being like, no, I'm done, because if people just have no sensitivity or awareness of how people feel, and there's only so much that I just think that it just is bullshit. But I also understand, like we said right at the beginning, it's a great fucking marketing tool, and it's also so good when it's positively done.
Yeah.
And that to me it means more. I just have built some mental fucking resilience from the other shit, and thank God that stands in my career, and like, you know, having, you know, strength when it comes to being told no or not being good enough or whatever it is, to build that up for me to be like, but the positive means more. Inspiring 100%. People means more, you know, 100%. Helping people means more.
At the end of the day, when it boils down to it, there's gonna, you know, we live in a world. We're gonna have cyber bullies. We're gonna have you're gonna come across bullies in school, in your college, wherever, in your workplace, in, you know, and it does. And I think people that do that are 100% not aware of, one, themselves. Two, like you said, there is absolutely no sensitivity or any empathy towards another human being.
I've just never been the kind of person, like, I would never go on someone who's got like 7 million, let's just call it Beyonce, let's just say Beyonce done something really bad. Like, I don't even think there's a 1% in me that would be like, I just need to message Beyonce. Beyonce, you're such a bitch for doing that. Like, I just don't think there's 1% in me. But people do it. At least 1 billion people do it. Beyonce's not listening to you.
Can I just say?
Actually, lies. Maybe Beyonce does listen, and maybe she thinks that you're fucking stupid. I don't know.
She does.
But she doesn't care because
she comes back with songs.
Okay.
She comes back with songs.
Yeah, I'm getting mad, but the point is, lies. It's like, again, sorry to take it back down again, but like, look at Caroline Flack, like.
Yeah, honestly, you
can sit there and go, oh, it doesn't bother people, like, oh, they don't see the comments. Like, I mean, I'm here with my little mini thousands, and the few comments you do see, they really fucking get to you. Yeah, you can kind of brush them off, and you can put them to the side, and you can say, oh, whatever. But be sensitive, like
100%. You're fucking with someone's life. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Well, it's a passionate thing, and I think, you know, I know we were, to be fair, going into mental health with social media and stuff. So it's the perfect balance of what we're talking about. But yeah, I think it's just having empathy. I think empathy is my biggest, almost favoritist word in the world, because it's just. No, I know that's not a real word. Favoritist,
because it's something I would say.
Yeah, it's not real, but it's my word. It's fine. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's about having compassion for people, understanding people, connecting to people. Like. For 100%, me, and for us, I feel like, hence why, and to be fair, obviously, I would love to grow and help millions, but I swear, if we continue like this for the rest of our lives, how we do now and what we do, I swear, that's my purpose. I'm good with that.
Right.
I sleep well at night. I'm happy. I'm not that jealous person on Instagram anymore. I'm okay with who I am. I understand my mental health. When I'm having a bad day, I can acknowledge, you know, I'm still not going to lash out or react to it. And if I do, I'm the first person to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm just having a bit of a shit time at the moment. I'm not really understanding my thoughts, but like, can we talk about, like, I don't know, there's just so much more having that time to kind of understand what's going on in my head rather than
that 100%. And I think for I agree with you as well. I'm the same. If we can help millions, yes, let's help millions. Let's if anyone is watching this and one person, even one person, right, can get something out of it, something positive out of it, amazing. But you know, the purpose is, I've lost my thought right now. Literally went, the purpose.
Not sure. No, but like, do you know what? One thing I feel like, I don't know, even with doing coaching and stuff, like, everyone trying to have a purpose. I need to find my purpose, purpose. And of course, having a purpose makes life fucking easier, and it's great. But please understand the anxiety and pressure behind trying to find a purpose isn't actually going to help. If you just allow yourself to understand what you like, what ticks you. I always say, like, what moves you, what inspires you, what actually makes you want to get up, what drives you. All these things will finally present itself to you. Even if your purpose becomes, I want to help people. Okay, then we deal with that. And then, okay, in what way? Is it in a physical way? Is it mentally? Is it that you just want to help, you want to volunteer?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? You want to make people happy? You want to provide music? You want to make people feel good? Like, it doesn't have to be, I want to be a scientist and I want to actually drink, like, I want to find the cure to what, like, it... I mean, that's a great.
I mean, if you want to do that,
I was going to say that's a great purpose. Please,
that's an amazing
continue
purpose.
in life if you have that purpose. But yeah, but my point is, don't think that you are going to wake up one day and know exactly, and this is what it is, and that's it for the rest of my life. Like, it changes.
It's definitely. I mean, throughout my life, you know, I've always known. Thank you. Going back to purpose. Thank you for helping me. I've always known my purpose. I've always known my purpose and what my purpose has been to make a difference and to help people in. And I've done it throughout my career in different jobs, right? In different jobs that I've done, I've always done that. And once you find that, like CJ says, if you do want to be a scientist, fan-fucking-tastic. Like, you are limitless. There's no limits to what you can or cannot do. Just remember one thing, put all the focus and energy. For anyone that's listening, if you are that person that does still get a little bit jealous, or you get in your feelings and you're watching other people and you're talking about other people, instead of doing that, take this time to bring all the focus to your purpose, your real purpose, and you will find so much more joy. You'll find so much more love, and you won't even, you'll look back and think, shit, did I actually do that?
And add the compassion to that. Everything that Sasha just said was like, oh, so beautiful. Add the compassion and the empathy. How has that person got there? Did they struggle before? Right. Like, you know, it's like when people want to maybe look at me and think, oh, she's fine, she's got her shit together. I'm like, baby, if only you knew. Like, the shit I was, like, the men, the relationship, the things that I had before, like the fucked up things that were done to my head, but the resilience that I build now, I am like, thank you so much, exes. thank you so much, hardships. Thank you so much, adversity, for bringing me this joy now. Because you can't get to, you absolutely want to get to this space of like comfort through going through so much discomfort and growth.
100%.
So please embrace that. Like, please don't think, oh my God, I've just got to have my shit together. It's got to be great. I've got to be fine. Like, if you are in a place of discomfort or unease right now, if you dive into that and you really fucking understand it and you sit with that pain and whatever it is that you're going through, I'm not like saying that it's not painful, but I'm telling you some real good shit's about to come, and just allow that feeling in your stomach. And right now, sit into it, breathe into it, and just let your stomach bubble a little bit. Because I'm telling you now, my shit didn't come from feeling great. It came from feeling pain.
You have to feel that pain. You have to feel the anxiety. Yeah. You have to go through hardship to understand what success means. Yeah. Even when you get successful, you have to maintain that success. That can either, you can either be a winner at that and get your mental health to the most beautiful state, or you can literally sink.
And literally that. It's like when you see celebrities and they peak too soon and they can't deal with the mental stuff that comes with it because they weren't ready. So what we're saying is, use this unreadiness, use this feeling of not knowing to build that resilience, because otherwise you'll get there too soon and you'll fall right back down again.
It's like when you want to cook a really, really good dish, right? No, honestly, when you want to cook that really good stew, you have to slow cook it for hours. If you cook it really fast, it'll burn. It'll taste shit. You'll be disappointed. Yeah? So you got to slow cook it. So you got to slow cook yourself. You got to slow cook your soul, your spirit, like your mind. That is, at the end of the day, that is when you find that inner peace, is when you won't be battling with your mental health every day. Because I know we've all been there. There are days where we battle with it day in and day out. Like, don't look at this and think this is yay. There are days where I'm like, oh my God, fuck this shit. But when I'm at my purest and peaceful and loving self is when I'm not battling at all.
Yeah. And I think, you know, we'll wrap up, because I feel like, again, we'll break things down more. Like, I would definitely like to speak more about things or positions that I've been in that were really made me feel like at my lowest, and how we kind of specifically got through them. Same with you, and you know that those are stories and things that we can delve into, like, you know, on another episode. But I hope, even just like for me, that I don't know, this conversation has just made me feel like remembering, like I almost, in times of success or times where things are great, I sometimes crave hardship again, because I get a sense of creativity, I get a sense of grit, like I want it more. Like, please, again, I can't tell you enough, if you are watching this and something feels off, just listen.
Yes.
Use your gut, listen intuitively, and just be like, what is something trying to tell me? Do I need to come out of something? Do I need to listen to something? Do I need to start something right this second? Think about it, because you're, like, honestly, you're sat down there for a reason. Yeah,
100%, 100%.
Use it, because that shit, that moment, that spark, you live for those moments.
Those are the moments that make you. Those are the moments that create you. Those are the moments that you find your purpose, your reasoning. So like CJ says, listen to those moments and understand it. Listen to the gut, listen to the spirit. Take a minute and meditate on it. You know, write down. This helps me a lot. Journaling helps me. Write down all your insecurities, write down every doubt, every fear, write it down, and then once you write it down and you take this and on a piece of paper, that's clarity.
Yeah. And you can analyse it from what joins together, what things are like happening at the same kind of time, what stems when this happens, what happens when I act like this, what, you know, and you can just start marrying things up and analysing what's good for you, what's not, what makes you annoyed, get rid of that. Who makes you annoyed? Get rid of them. Like, you know, is it that you're agitated every time you're on social media? Limit less time. Like, and I think it's just about becoming aware. I think 100%. Mental health for me, and I'm sure for you as well, has just been about awareness of self-exploration, self-awareness, like everything about just understanding myself. And I think once you're in a space of that, whether you're having a shit mental health day or a fucking great one, at least you're aware. You're on a, like, as again, my life coach used to say to me, you're on a path of awareness now. You can't unsee what you know. So if you know something, Amen. You can't unsee it.
Amen. You have to see it. On that note, check your environment. Check your environment. Check the conversations you're having. Check what you're talking about. Listen to what you're talking about.
Do you engage in gossip, bitching,
right?
Stuff like
all
that.
Of that. Are you engaging with someone talking about someone else, bringing them down, or you having a conversation with someone where it stimulates your mind and you're talking about ideas rather than about people? Right? Think about all those things, right?
Yeah,
your environment,
like how you introduce yourself, or how you, and I can be aware of this. Like today, I knew I was having a shit day, and I was like, I don't want every conversation I have. You know, like, how are you, babe? Yeah, I'm alright. I'm just feeling. Just be aware of those conversations. I'd rather say, yeah, I'm really good. I'm just having a like.
Yeah, it's true, because if you can of course say that you're not. I'm not saying every day say you're amazing. But if you also keep saying, I've got a headache, I'm not well, I feel shit,
your body and brain starts to believe.
Yeah, you're gonna start feeling absolutely. Be aware that you're not feeling well, but be also aware how you're gonna take yourself out of that feeling. Yeah. Right.
Again, awareness. If you say something, oh shit, I said that. Oh, I used that language. Not like, I'm not talking about swear words, but that was quite negative. Like, oh, okay, and I said it in this tone, and like how's that other person picking up on that? And like, it's about understanding your energy. I'm not saying, please, Jesus Christ, you might see me one day and be like, that bitch is antisocial. Because Jesus Christ, I really am. And there are things that I'm willing to absolutely fix, but some days where I also know I can be quite sensitive, and for my mental health, I might need to take a step back. I'm really quite precious around like big environments. I mean, I know this is completely out of context. I've never been to Notting Hill Carnival. Sasha goes. Oh my God. Like I'm really not scared. I don't like big environments. I'm quite protective of my space. Like, just look again, awareness. I know thyself. It helps. Yeah, and it's just literally listening to your body when you feel like you're in a certain environment and that it's not, you know, like. You feel
if it feels odd
or a bit like
if you feel like you shouldn't be somewhere, move, go home, remove yourself from that space. If you feel like you shouldn't be,
you know, like when you force a night out and you know something bad's gonna happen. We don't know, but it's just you're just like, oh, I can force it, and something is, you're just like, something bad's gonna happen here, and it literally does. Like you get a parking ticket, or someone crashes, or it's just something so bad, but you knew it from the minute you stepped out of your house. You listen to that intuition. But yeah, as I say, I know me and Sash could go on forever about one subject, so we're going to come back. We'll probably speak about this like so much more in depth, but keep tuned, comment, like, subscribe.
Oh, we can say that now. Subscribe. I'm joking.
And we'll be back soon. Bye.
Bye.